Good morning, everyone. This is John Keogh here, founding president of the Irish Executives Network. And this is a quick network update. So if you just bear with me for one moment, I'm going to bring in some slide content. Very easy to do here within the Irish Executives TV platform. And I'm going to bring in a video, or not a video, sorry, just a presentation. And the very first slide up there is the Irish Executives Network. You'll notice that on this platform here, Irish Executives TV, we can do many things. If you look in between both the video of myself and also the slide, you'll see this little green bar. You can move that to the left or to the right to make the PowerPoint presentation larger. And also, if you go over on the left-hand side, you'll see the 4 arrows going in different directions. If you click on that, you can go to full screen mode. Also, if you click on the presentation, you will go to full screen mode on that. So just a couple of little things with regard to using the actual platform itself. Anyway, John Keogh here. Fantastic to be able to send this to you a couple of days before our Irish Executives event in Galway. And a couple of things that I want to update you on that I think are very relevant for the network. First thing is that the network is the fastest growing Irish diaspora network out there today. From last year when we had our first event in Galway, we were just over 7,000 members, and we've now just passed 16,400. So phenomenal growth. The word is out. We mean business, and we're in business. As a reminder for those of you who are not familiar with Irish Executives and what we were doing and what we set out to achieve, we really wanted to develop new ways of working together, what we call NWWT. So new ways of working together, but also to encourage each other, to stimulate growth of Irish business, to motivate and also to excite. Not talking about what needs to get done, but also, how to do it. And we wanted to lead by example and breaking through that mindset that so many things are difficult or complex or costly, like cloud computing, for example, moving from capital expense to an operating expense. We want to demonstrate these tools, and again, not what to do because you know that is part of your business, but basically how to do it. Giving you a bigger fishbowl to operate in, giving you these tools and platforms so that you can expand out to a broader audience of customers and opportunities, not only in Ireland, across Europe, but right across the world. And that's the another key thing that I wanted to mention as well, is that the network operates independently, neutral of influence, and also as a not-for-profit. I think that's very, very important to mention. Now, if we look back on last year, just a partial reflection on last year, late last year, we had our first major event online. We used Irish Executives TV for the Inspire Ireland competition. The Inspire Ireland competition, the idea came from Barry Walsh, a brilliant consultant that's based in Kinvara, County Galway, and Barry focuses on helping small, medium enterprises and focuses on the area of leadership. So this was thanks to Barry and his idea, and we had this tremendous competition with 5 countries, 20 entries, and the winner was Kenescence from Dublin. Now, the founding member of Kenescence, Mark Sugrue, will be in Galway talking about his success story and also about how he's recently received over 650,000 euros in seed capital to grow his business. So we're looking forward to hearing that from Mark this week. Also, we have a California-based company who came into me and said, look, I'm interested in doing business in Ireland and maybe transferring my business over to Ireland. We connected him into the network, and also he met with people in Dublin, Cork, Limerick, and Galway, and has decided to move his whole business over to Galway, in fact, over to the Connemara area, which is brilliant. Our network promotions have proven that you can grow business online using social media, and we have lots of success stories there. But also the 2011 summit has helped to create some jobs. We've heard of people getting jobs as a result of the summit, but we've also heard of new products, new ideas, and new ways of going to market that are also creating jobs. And not to forget, we announced last year our Irish Executives Press, which is our new concept going out and crowdsourcing aspirational writers from the network. And we've just published our first book, which is available on Amazon from the 1st of September. So thanks to everyone who contributed to that, and more on that in a few moments. But that book is 17 authors, including one guest author called Eric Maas. Eric Maas was the founder and inventor of Six Sigma while he was at Motorola. So Susan Harwood, fantastic job in her role as program manager for that event. And also very shortly, our Irish Executives TV platform, this platform that you're looking at right now, will get a major overhaul to include things like VoiceBridge. So in areas where bandwidth is not high enough for streaming video, you'll be able to listen to conference calls or have conversations using VoiceBridge. With regard to our book, again, fantastic achievement from the team. 17 authors from many countries, I think about 4 or 5 different countries. And this has been released, 23 different best practices. Everyone who attends the event this week will get a copy of that free of charge. Again, looking back to our Irish Executives TV platform, you'll see here on the left-hand side, we used it for the Inspire Ireland competition. It's a great collaborative platform. You can use, like I'm doing right now, to record, to capture, and to share information, and you control the content. You can still put the content up on YouTube if you want, but this way you can control the content and manage the content very carefully. Within this platform, you can do one-on-ones, you can do product demonstrations, you can do education, training, and a whole host of other activities using this platform. You can scale on the top here. You can see up on the top where my picture is. You can have thousands of people in here at the same time. So this is like the current platforms that are out there, except on steroids. A great opportunity for many companies. Our Inspire Ireland competition, you see here that I've mentioned we raised about 150,000 euros of in-kind, which is phenomenal when you think of it. Raising so much in-kind money or services as part of a social media network. In fact, the total was over 200,000, but we were a little bit embarrassed that it was getting so high at one point in time. So well done to Mark Sugru. You can see Mark in here, who won the competition last year. Now, coming up in the next year, we have so many opportunities, so many ideas, and so many exciting things to bring you. Our IE Go initiative is the governance program where we're building the management team, the executive leadership team for the network, and expanding that from Ireland out to some folks outside of Ireland as well to make sure we have real global coverage. This governance team will also look at the financial structure, the governance structure, the major programs, and how we deliver that to deliver value to you. IETV is our expansion program, as mentioned. We'll talk a little bit about that on Thursday here in Galway. And also on Thursday, we'll talk about our second project as part of Irish Executives Press, and that's going to be very, very exciting as well, going out to the network. And we'll also hear from the people who contributed to the first project. Another idea we have for the 2013 Sandbox is interim executives, and having set up and managed a very successful interim executive company many, many years ago, I know what needs to be done and what can be done, but also I want to find out from you what you want to do and how you want to participate in that. This is an opportunity to spawn off a business for interim executives, but also there are so many startup companies all around the place, and not only in Ireland, but also abroad in Asia and in US, Africa, and so on, that need help and expertise. So I can imagine us providing expertise, let's say a virtual chief financial officer for 2 hours a week for 3 months, a VP of marketing for 4 hours every 2 weeks for 2 months, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the concept that we're moving towards, not necessarily competing with firms that provide interim executives on a full-time basis. This is more virtual and more real-time or as-needed expertise, and we have it here within the network. I can envision one of you as an expert in your field with 10 or 15 or even 20 clients that you're providing X amount of hours to on a weekly or monthly basis. So very excited about that program. Also the discount structure, discount schemes. We have our first discount program in place with a global hotel chain, adding value for you as you travel around the world with over 7,000 properties. Pascal will be making a very exciting announcement about a group schemes program that we're bringing to you at zero charge in the next quarter. We have our IETG, which is the gathering, and the gathering obviously being brought to us by Tourism Ireland and Fáilte Ireland. Very exciting next year to bring hundreds of thousands of people over to Ireland and we want to participate that and contribute to that. Not only are we participating and contributing, but also Tourism Ireland and Fáilte Ireland are investing in Irish executives to be able to get those messages out. So we are so excited about that program. Terry Clune, IECI, is the Connect Ireland program. We're going to be connecting with Terry Clune's team to also get the message out about Connect Ireland program and the value it can deliver and the value that Ireland can deliver as a base for business. And a lot of this, what we want to do is to also align as much as possible with the presidency of the European Union next year in the first 6 months of 2013, which means that this seminar that we have, or the summit that we have this week in Galway, we're going to pull forward next year into the May-June timeframe to coincide with the gathering, some of the Connect Ireland initiatives, and also the presidency. And we'll also talk about that on Thursday this week in Galway. So you can see this is the bulk of the initiatives for next year, but not the only initiatives. We're getting ideas coming in on a weekly basis from you to focus on different areas to deliver value. And again, we're not competing with any government initiative in Ireland. We're complementing existing initiatives, and this is a ground-up initiative. These initiatives are ground-up and not driven by any particular motivation other than to give back to Ireland and to help Irish companies grow and expand their networks around the world. So in Galway, again, it's 2012 summit. It's going to be held here on the 26th on the evening, starting at 8 p.m. So this Wednesday coming. And there's meet the speakers and meet the authors. So great opportunity to come along, have an up and close personal discussion with the speakers and with the authors. We have brilliant speakers coming in like John Phillips, Senior Vice President from Pepsi-Cola, Conor Cunneen coming in from Chicago, and several more people from the US, from Canada, from mainland Europe, and of course from Ireland as well. So please register. We need you to sign up. We need your support for the event, and we need the numbers to give to the hotel as well for planning and food purposes. You also get a 3-course meal, and of course we have tea and coffee going all throughout the day. As part of your sign-ups, you will get a free copy of Irish Executive's new book, and also a copy of the Diaspora Networking Toolkit, which was created by Kingsley Aikens and other folks. Now, just a quick look at some of the content for next week. We're going to have a great opening speaker with Nicola Byrne talking about Ireland is open for business, and here's why. She's often called a breath of fresh air. She's the CEO of 2 companies in Ireland and really has a fresh perspective on what needs to get done and how do we need to collaborate. And again, think of new ways of working together to drive business and drive opportunities. So we're really looking forward to Nicole's opening speech next week. We're going to be talking about best practices as well. We're going to have the authors talk about their particular best practice and what they're recommending for Ireland. We'll talk about the gathering as well. We'll have Jim Miles coming in presenting on what the gathering is all about and showing a short video. We'll have Connect Ireland talking to us as well very briefly, and they will also be taking a booth. And we'll have Kingsley Aikens. What can I say about Kingsley? Mr. Diaspora, brilliant man who's raised over $500 million or so for Irish causes over the years, well-traveled and well-connected around the world. He is probably the single person who really has a handle on what needs to get done in networking and how relevant and how important networking is not only to Ireland but to Irish businesses and our success moving forward. So Mr. Diaspora, Kingsley Aikens, don't miss that. Brilliant storyteller, brilliant conversationalist, and he knows networking like no other person that I know. John Phillips coming in. Every single company in Ireland will benefit from John's presentation. John's presentation comes from the Consumer Goods Forum, which is the 650 largest companies in the world, the largest brands in the world, looking at the trends in 2020 and how we need to change our businesses today to be able to meet those trends and deliver what consumers want in 2020. So brilliant presentation. I've already seen John present this in Brussels in February this year, and it's just incredible. Very high value added stuff that will be thought-provoking and will help you structure and set up the programs that you need to do in your company to prepare for the change coming down the pipeline. We're going to have a panel discussion with some great speakers like Chris Coughlin, physicist, scientist, brilliant solutions person, He's with HP in Galway, Hewlett-Packard, and has brought cloud computing to Ireland. Not only cloud computing, but the research and development on cloud computing. And Chris and his team are delivering value in areas like anti-counterfeit, protecting millions of people in Africa from getting fake drugs, to traceability and recall, and protecting consumers from unsafe products. He's delivering these products in Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, US, and all over Asia. Brilliant work being done by Hewlett-Packard here in Galway and in Ireland. And Chris is going to share his thoughts on what Ireland needs to do to drive growth. We're also going to have Mark Sugru involved in that as well. Again, as I mentioned, Mark has just received significant amount of seed capital to grow his company. And we're going to have Derry, Digital Enterprise Research Institute, talking about what they're doing in semantic web and how they're aligning with governments and intergovernmental agencies to use some of their algorithms to make linked open data available to consumers and also application providers. We have a few more speakers in that as well that will be joining that panel, and more to follow on that in a few days' time. Accelerating your business, what can I say about Conor Cunneen? Just a brilliant, brilliant speaker, and he'll be talking about how to accelerate your business, how to drive leadership, how to drive innovation, and how to connect with your consumers. Conor is an Irishman, lives over in Chicago, former VP of marketing at Unilever, and the author of 2 books. One of those is The Gift of the Gab. So again, brilliant, brilliant opportunity to listen to some of the best. Conor speaks all over the world to Fortune 500 companies, and is really going to be another breath of fresh air, give you different perspectives and a different way of looking at accelerating your business. Professor Oded Shenkar, I've spoken to Oded several times. He is an expert on China, and he really has a different grasp on innovation and driving growth. And his proposition is you need to have a balanced strategy of imitation with innovation. And his presentation is going to be based on his recent book called Copycats. I've read the book, I love it, and I also deal with anti-counterfeit in my professional life. So the very fine line between counterfeit and IP rights fraud, but he'll give you a beautiful angle based on many, many years of research, and give some really sound advice on how to look at adaptations in your strategy, your business strategy, to drive innovation in product, process, and in services. So again, very, very interesting discussion. And before we finish, I want to talk about the opportunity for sponsorship. You know, we are going places as a network. We're well established now, 4.5 years doing what we're doing, delivering value back to Ireland, delivering value to individuals and small companies, medium-sized companies, and large companies as well. So there's a fantastic opportunity being created here for companies to sponsor some of the activities that we're getting involved in with Irish Executives. It could be this Irish Executives TV platform here, and providing it free out to 1,000 companies, or having your logo in the platform, or sponsoring the Irish Executives Press or Irish Executives Interim Executives, and many, many other areas. So, but we also need your sponsorship for this year. We have companies like small little drains company, 24/7, AM, PM drains, so we're throwing in $250. We have Kumar's Indian restaurant in Galway, and Aaron Band throwing in 250 euros, I should say, for the event. We have a furniture company in Galway throwing in 250 euros, and we have several others, but we need your sponsorship. We need your help. Currently, we don't have enough money, sponsorship money, to pay for a photographer or videographer to be able to showcase the people that are there, take some good pictures, some memories of the event, but also to be able to broadcast live online. So if we can get some more sponsorship, we can even put on an even better show on Thursday this week. So please help us with that. It would be fantastic. You can reach out to Zara, Z-A-R-A, at irishexecutives.com. If you have an interest in sponsoring us. Again, it starts at $250 or 250 euros to get involved and to contribute back and help us to grow the network. So we want to see you in Galway on the 26th, the evening of the 26th, and all day on the 27th. Meet the speakers the night before, meet the authors. And we're also going to have an American-based astonishment artist, which is a beautiful description of a magician, an illusionist, and a mentalist all wrapped up in one. This guy is coming over at expense to us, but we're delighted to be able to bring him over. He has done personal sessions for Donald Trump, for Fortune 500 companies, including the Ford Motor Company, and many, many others. So just an incredible artist. I was with him a few nights ago, and I'll tell you, after you see some of the things that he does up real close, you'll want to run and get involved in some structured religion, because some of the things he does are just out of this world. So sign up today, sign up now at irishexecutives.com for the event. It's very important that we have accurate numbers. We don't want to have 200 people signing up on the morning. It'll really mess up the hotel from a planning and logistics perspective. You also get a 3-course meal as part of your membership, and also the book that we've just created and the Diaspora Network book as well. But brilliant opportunity for networking. Sponsorship I've just talked about, and you can reach out to Zara. So finally, I want to thank you and thank everyone for your inspiration, for your encouragement, for your support, and for your feedback over the last 4.5 years. Without your involvement, we would not be here today. We would not be having the event except for the willingness to share ideas, to share concepts, and to give back to Ireland, to give back to your colleagues, and to build a very strong diaspora network. Each and every one of you are making a difference. Thank you, and we'll see you in Galway. And